6:48, this is your morning in 8 minutes. 2 people are dead, 3 are recovering after a shooting outside of a bar in Fountain City over the weekend.
This happened Friday night in the parking lot of Hatmaker's Bar and Grill. Investigators tell us a fight broke out between the Outlaw and Pagan Motorcycle Club. Neighbors say they heard 25 to 50 rounds go off. If you know anything about what happened, you're asked to contact Crime Stoppers. We have their number in the WVLT News app.
And happening today, the Knoxville Police Department officially under new leadership for the time being. Former Chief Eve Thomas's last day as the head of the department was yesterday. She's retiring after a 30-year career. In the meantime, KPD Deputy Chief Mark Fortner will take over the department before handing the reins over to Paul Noel. Noel is slated to take over the job next month. He's a 25-year veteran of the New Orleans Police Department, set to be sworn in on June 13th.
Well, a man wanted for attempted first-degree murder is behind bars.
The Sevierville Police Department arresting Jason Allen Wynn at a home on Avery Lane early Friday morning. Police say it took about an hour before Wynn surrendered. He is due in court tomorrow for a bond hearing. Wynn also faces charges in Union County.
This morning, a family is waiting to find out if a body found in Claiborne County is that of their missing loved one. Officials found the naked body on Dividing Road on Thursday in a field. An autopsy is now underway. Investigators are waiting to see if it is 35-year-old Samantha Jo Mays. Deputies say she disappeared about 2 weeks ago. Her sister tells us Mays was likely walking to her aunt's house nearby. She lives around 6 miles away from where they found the body. And today, Knox County staff will present a proposal to the Board of Education that would create multiple early release days.
The proposal highlights the need for students and staff to be released early on certain days. Pre-K students would be dismissed at 11:15. K through 5 would be dismissed at 12:30, and all other students in grades 6 through 12 would leave school at 1:30. The folks behind the proposal say early release days give educators more time to prepare and evaluate student performance. This would only apply to 6 dates selected. We've got all that for you on the WVLT News app. And taking a look around the state today, we should learn more about what went wrong in the hours leading up to the execution of Oscar Smith.
Officials called it off just 1 hour before he was set to die. Smith was set to receive a lethal injection, but Governor Bill Lee called it off after he says there was an oversight in preparation for the injection. Smith's attorneys are now calling for scheduled executions in the state to be delayed. And a previous COVID infection now equals a COVID vaccine in Tennessee.
That's according to a new law. Governor Bill Lee did not sign a bill that requires businesses to treat a prior infection the same way as a vaccine in any COVID policies. But ultimately, it didn't matter that the governor didn't sign it. The law went into effect Friday without his signature.
And around the nation this morning, lawmakers in Congress are working on the president's request of $33 billion for Ukraine. The proposal has bipartisan support, but faces an uphill battle if lawmakers try to link it with more COVID spending. Democrats want the Ukraine deal approved by Memorial Day weekend. Meanwhile, President Biden says he plans to announce his decision on federal student loan relief in the next few weeks.
Some Democrats asking him to forgive $50,000 per borrower. He says he wouldn't do that. Biden campaigned on forgiving $10,000, waiving what some students owe for undergraduate studies at public schools. Experts say canceling all federal student debt could increase the inflation rate by 0.1 to 0.5% over a year. Right now, there are 43 million Americans with federal loans. And looking ahead to this week, the Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates by 0.5% following its 2-day policy meeting. It would be the first hike greater than a quarter since 2000. And as the Fed ramps up its fight against inflation, increases to interest rates make borrowing for things like homes and cars more expensive.
We have an important recall alert this morning. Nearly 250,000 Ford Explorers are being recalled due to a problem that can cause the SUV to roll away. Highway officials say a part in the drive shaft can fracture while the parking brake is on. This includes some models built between 2020 and this year. You can take your SUV and they will replace the part free of charge.
This morning, we're learning a former Abbott employee filed a complaint about a contaminated baby formula months before a recall was issued.
The complaint came before 2 babies died. The employee laid out concerns about poor cleaning practices, falsified records, and instances where employees knowingly put out formula that could have been contaminated. The complaint says the employee was fired for raising these concerns and was one of a number of people who came forward. Abbott says it's investigating and cooperating with the FDA's investigation.
And this morning, country music duo Wynonna and Naomi Judd are officially in the Country Music Hall of Fame. The induction comes just a day after the family says Naomi died after battling mental illness. Wynonna and her sister Ashley made their first appearance since their mother's death to accept the award last night. She was just 76 years old.
And around East Tennessee, KUB celebrating breaking ground on its first community solar site. It's next to the city's public works complex off Morse Avenue and will provide renewable energy to homes and businesses. It gives customers the chance to support solar energy without the cost of installing panels themselves. And Election Day is tomorrow. Knox County, you can cast your vote for the primary election. Polls across the county open at 8 in the morning, and they're open all day until 8 o'clock at night. Right now, you can head to the city's website, type in your address, and see where you can vote and what your specific ballot will look like. We have the candidates and their information for you in the WVLT News app.
Happening today, crews will be starting the first round of construction work on the new stadium just east of the old city. Today, the focus will be relocating water and sanitary sewer lines. Expect closures on parts of Jackson Avenue, Willow Avenue, and Georgia Street. And with that, we do want to get a check of your first alert forecast, taking a look around our area. Nothing major been popping up so far into downtown Knoxville. Looking all green, a few slowdowns between 75 and 275 as well as 640. Taking a look out west of town, everything looking good. That's the same story in Sevier County. We do want to remind you, here's a live look at Alcoa Highway at Cherokee Trail right by the medical center. They are still working to fix the area where that sinkhole opened up yesterday. Right now, all those lanes are open, but just be careful about construction happening in that area.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Heather Haley.
6:55 now as we kick off the week really on a warm note, but a quieter note weather-wise. We've got that lower humidity. It does bump up tomorrow, and that's where we start getting into some rain and storms at times. It doesn't mean it's going to be all day rain and storms. We have batches cutting through and some developing thanks to that higher humidity combined with some high heat. So for today, at least a little bit more mild. We're only finding some of that fog contributing to higher humidity in spots. It's now 59 in Knoxville, 49 in Crossville, to 53 in Sneedville and 49 Jellicoe. Again, some dense fog out. We've got a pocket over Watts Bar around Spring City, hazy in Monroe County, dense fog around downtown Knoxville to Union County, hazy from Cumberland to Scott County, and foggy at the Tennessee-Kentucky line. Big picture, we have batches of rain and storms headed our way. Again, this is what gives us more of that kind of pulsing up of rain and storms ahead. Not today. That's the good news. Right now it is blue sky with some of that fog. We're going to actually heat up to around 75 at noon with a high today of 82. More of a straight pop up this evening simply because we're sliding up on that humidity. But tomorrow, for example, we've got that batch of rain and storms that clips our area. So that's where you can see a good streak cutting across part of our area going into your Tuesday, not widespread. Tuesday night to Wednesday, that's when we're going to have some more on and off rain and storms at times. So that just gives us that pulsing up. We've got a few more downpours actually cut across parts of the valley to mountains going into your Tuesday night. So I'll show you that latest timeline here this week, especially since we have to wait till this front passes on Friday before we can kindly put it into this on and off rain and storm chance. And that's coming up here on the CW for you.
Yeah, a lot of changes happening out there. I just want to go to the beach, Heather. I want it to be sunny, 95.
Hey, you get a nice day today to golf.
This is true. Heather gave me that one. 6:56, we're headed over to WBXX. Have a good Monday.